Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome on in. Hi, my name is Magic Bun and I am here to provide confirmation to your intuition and clarity if you so need it. As you can tell by today's video, this is about where you can expect growth in your life. It's in theme with the season. There is a pagan holiday, if you choose to celebrate it or not, has just passed. It is Beltane. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I always get nervous and I always mispronounce things. Everyone on Twitch can confirm this. It is a wonderful trait of mine. Anyways, if you understand that, if you know it's about the spring season, growth and abundance, we're here to find out today what it is that you can expect growth in your life and see if there's anything you can do, if there's more things you can help progress the growth, if it's just about sitting down and being more patient about the growth, if it's about letting go. That's what we're here to discover today. And we're going to start off with this wonderful oracle deck. As if you know the drill, you already know what to do by now. You can pause the video or you can go down below to the description and fast forward to your reading. If you are new here and you would like an explanation, so this is how it works. There is card 1, 2, and 3. And using your intuition or your gut feeling, what is the card that calls to you? You can always pause the video at any time, take some few deep breaths. Maybe there's a combination of cards, pile 1 and 2 are calling to you, or pile 3, sorry, I was hovering over 3, but it could be 1 or 2, 2 and 3, or whatever. It could be 1, 2, and 3, whatever it feels right to you. It could always be more than one option, or it could just be one. After you've made your selection, you can go down to the description box below and you'll see a timestamp next to pile 1, 2, and 3, and you click on that timestamp and it will fast forward to your reading. So if you picked pile 3 and you do not want to try to fast forward or find where pile 3 starts, you would just click the timestamp and it will fast forward you to past these two readings and get you directly to pile 3. Okay, so that's how that works. If you're new here, please make sure if you like this video to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I do try to put out these videos. I've been consistent in putting out these pick a pile videos at least once a week, and sometimes they are themed to the new and full moons that are going about. But other than that, I hope you would join us in Discord, on my other social platforms. Occasionally I do stream on Twitch. I will be getting back onto that to do some more live readings, and also on Instagram. And I don't know if you guys just heard that. That was my dog. If you did not hear that, it's in the background. That's him just saying hello. And other than that, thank you for being here. And again, if you want more information, it's in the description box. Other than that, I will catch you into your reading. Hello, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. All right, let us get started. We'll be starting with the oracle, and then we'll bring in the tarot, and more than likely we'll bring in more oracle after that. Here we have the cow. Camera, this is another ongoing joke with my recordings and midstream. Will it focus? Will you be able to see the beautiful artwork? Sometimes this helps. I guess not. Okay, well anyways, I will still be reading what the card says. May the embrace of all that is nurturing you awaken in all that you are becoming. This is a card of nurturing. For some of you, this could be nurturing yourself, nurturing as if you were nurturing yourself, you're acting as your own mother. For some of you, this is deepening the connection with your mother, like more bonding, going out, creating a stronger bond. This is also about stability and your home. For some of you, you might be getting a home or accessing to getting access to a home, becoming more secure and stable, like either re-signing a lease or getting the paperwork ready to put a down payment or to get a home, to buy a home. For some of you, that could be what this is insinuating, but this is about stability and nurturing and creating a place of safety. Okay, so we can see that growth going along the way for some of you out there. And when I say for some of you, this is a general reading, so that's why I say for some of you. So if it resonates with you, then great, and if it doesn't, that's okay. That means it was for somebody else. Because I do understand not everyone is looking for a new home, but maybe you're looking for financial security, or you're looking for security, just stability overall. You're looking for stability. You're looking for a kind, nurturing environment, nurturing to your needs, seeing to your own needs, putting yourself first, and taking care of yourself as well. Prime examples is making sure you're fed first, making sure your emotional needs, your security, your financial needs are being taking care of and not allowing others to pull you away from duties that are benefiting yourself. You're creating boundaries, even though that might seem very hard for some people out there. Okay, so let's see what the tarot has to say. Let's take a deeper dive. Like I said, this is about home insecurity and stability. Overall is the growth that is heading towards you. Pile number 1. All right, let me put the cards over here. Okay. 10 of Wands in reverse, kind of telling us how you're trying to lessen your burdens. You're starting to let go of things. King of Pentacles in reverse. Some of you might be having a hard time really creating this abundance or this prosperity and stability because maybe you're being too stubborn about something. This is also connected to the sign of Taurus. So some of you with strong Taurus placements. So maybe this is the year that you are you're setting down goals for yourself, but maybe you don't have a plan in place right now. Knight of Wands. Oh, okay. So we're kind of seeing this come up, and this is Knight of Wands is also related to like Sagittarius energy, but we already see these wands coming in here, this fire and earth meeting as one. With this Knight of Wands energy, there could be because you're taking too much time. You're waiting for things to be too perfect, and you're not taking charge of a situation. Also could be implying between like these two, maybe that two people are not saying, like someone maybe has a lot of fire in their charts and their placement, or has a very fiery personality, is not getting along with someone who is more practical, more grounded. Maybe someone's being like a stick in the mud, because we literally have it like a stick in here, and it's being very hard to like progress them, to move them forward and embrace this new home, this new stability, a new way of looking at abundance and prosperity as well. We have Justice, some Libra energy coming into here. So with the card of Justice, it's about putting things back into balance. This is why you're in the process of letting things go that are draining your energy. This is why you're attending to more of your nurturing needs and habits. You're voicing your opinions. You're voicing what you need. You're taking control of a situation. Truths will be known to you coming up. You know, you're going to learn the truth of maybe why things feel unsettled. You know, if someone's like being a stick in the mud, or even yourself, you're being too stubborn about things, and now you have to learn to let things go to bring things back into balance. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So it seems like the mind, or like your heart and the physical realm, are not mix and mingling very well together when we see these kind of cards come up into here. And also in reverse, this could be someone like manipulating the situation. Also, I should also point out the Queen of Cups is related to Cancer energy. So we're kind of seeing everyone. We've got air signs, earth signs, fire signs, all in here coming into play. We have 3 court cards. So maybe this is where, when we're seeing this home and this nature, some of you have a lot of players in here. We have a lot of people coming into the scene or voicing their opinions, and you're trying to be the balance. You're trying to be like, I'm willing to let some of these things go. I'm willing to compromise in order to bring stability. But we have people who are manipulating things, who are emotionally manipulating, who are emotionally and then physically being stubborn about things, not wanting to pick things up, not wanting to go. And it's really hard when you're trying to be the peaceful person here. You're trying to compromise with everything with this growth. So we're seeing a bit of struggling with that. And we have the Page of Cups. A lot of people are coming into this reading for pile number 1. We've got Page of Cups, the Keeper of Water. Very close to the Queen of Cups, since they are in the same suit right here. We have an invitation, though, of trusting your intuition, getting things going with that Knight of Wands energy. We see someone who is trusting their dreams, trusting their intuition, and knowing when things are going to be better for them in the long run. That understanding that you're becoming more aware of things, right? You're becoming more aware of someone's trying to manipulate a situation behind the scenes of this with the Queen of Cups energy. You have to unlock and take baby steps as well with trusting your intuition, trusting your gut feeling. This is more internal work as well. And understanding, I'm also getting the feeling of someone who wants to build something beautiful but doesn't have the funds in order to do so. And you could be feeling quite childish because you're like, is this really important to make things beautiful? And it's more about nurturing and creating beauty with the resources that are currently around you, but no longer letting things take its time in that sense. With this power of growth, this abundance heading your way, you could be needing a mentor. You could be needing someone to teach you the ways of investing and saving your money and no longer like neglecting it. Like take your action within saving. And it's going to feel like baby steps with the Page of Cups being present here. It's going to feel like, you know, you're just getting your journey started. And this is a build up. This is that type of growth that we are seeing here. All right, let's grab that last card. Page of Wands. Okay. We could be dealing with a family unit here. If you are being reflective of a family unit, we can see just some conflicts, perhaps between a mother and a father-like figure who are not seeing eye to eye, and that's why we're seeing a lot of conflict in this situation. We could see children being involved in the situation, wanting to do better for children. If you have up to 2 children, with both these pages being present here, we have a Knight, which could be reflective of a teenager or a young adult in all of this. This is what I'm saying. Maybe there's just like, it's a big family where you're trying to see growth and stability and trying to do this. You're trying to do this for a family. We're seeing this. Or we're seeing also conflict kind of come to a resolution, and maybe people need to release areas of their life of where and you may not have full and total control in the situation as well, depending on your situation. You can't force people to change. You can only control your own actions with this growth. And this could be where we're seeing the Ten of Wands in reverse. You're starting to leave things behind you can no longer can control. The Page of Wands is kind of like that focus of energy, the focus. And we also see 2 pyramids instead of the 3 here, kind of like you're slowly but surely gaining ground here. When we see 3 pyramids, or like the figure of 3 in here, it's like mind, body, and soul. Things are slowly coming into alignment to embrace this. Kind of like we see, what are we missing? We're missing swords. Technically we're missing swords. I know we have justice, we have a bit of the air energy, that's why it's not completely gone with that sword energy, but the fact that we don't have a card dedicated to the swords means that maybe your mental thoughts or your mental state of mind, it's like it's coming into focus, it's coming into place. You know where you want to grow, you know where you want to live, you know these things. It's just getting the momentum, getting the emotional control, and the finances in order, but we are bursting with energy. You're ready to do, you're ready to grow, you're ready to embrace this new structure and stability with this cow energy coming up of nurturing. For some of you, this could be taking the place of a mother-like figure in the situation. Realizing you have to take this nurturing nature to yourself. That's kind of like the balancing act we see here. You could have your feminine and masculine energy that are not meeting eye to eye, and this is where you're going to kind of bring them back together as one and whole. And that brings you stability as well. You're understanding where you can lay your emotions and where you can lay your mind, and how you're able to balance it again. All right, let me just pile number 1. There's a lot. There could be, like I said, with the court cards in here, it's always external and internal energy. I think I have to zoom out just a little bit because I'm going to bring out some more oracle cards. The candle might have to move over just a little bit. When we see this, we kind of see like a lot of court cards. It means there's a lot of players in the mix, especially when we're trying to think of stability and growth. Making sure that no one is trying to manipulate the situation and bring like this turmoil. You are going to gain your emotions under control right now. Your emotions, trying to create beauty. You might not be able to envision it, but it's trusting your intuition along this path. Like you have the energy to embrace it. For some of you, this also could be implying a message is being sent to you from your spirit, from the divine, from your deity, whichever, like the universe, whichever you work with, you could be getting a message. And it's like, trust your intuition when you receive this message. We have these messenger cards being present in that way. Okay, so that's what I have for that. Let me grab. Definitely, what is it that you need to surrender? Pile number 1. What is it that you need to surrender? I apologize. I don't know if you can hear it with my music in the background. It is raining, and you might hear some rain and thunder in the background. Maybe, I don't know. I won't know until I play back this video, but I apologize in advance if you hear the rain and maybe some thunder. All right, pile number 1. What is it that you need to surrender? Besides stubborn energy. I say that as I'm looking right at that King of Pentacles. Surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of results. Holding on too tightly to desired outcome can sabotage it. And I was literally just looking at that King of Pentacles, that stubborn energy. Like, you need it to go a certain way. And when things don't go a certain way, that's when your heart gets hurt. That's when your intuition or your connection to the divine is cut. And it's so interesting because even with this symbology, we have like this rainbow and then these swirls that if you look closely, it is like a different form of the rainbow because it's just trying to gain that form. Some of you might have been disconnected to the divine, to your spirit guides, to your ancestors for some whatever reason. Like maybe things weren't going your way and you cut out the connection. And this is more about reopening that connection, starting with small steps, like leaving offerings of water, leaving it in a cup for the divine, writing out messages or lighting a candle in remembrance of your ancestors and to the divine. Surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude. Be of service to others and come from the heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. This kind of like rings into with both of these cards being into here. It's letting go of pride and letting go of acting childish. Trying to like stomp your feet and be like, I want it this way. It's like things don't always work out that way. That's why we're starting to learn to let go, to bring things into balance, to bring in your mature energy to your young energy, the young and vibrant energy. And the card at the bottom, surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring your peace. And this is where we were kind of discussing before. I'm like, if there's a lot of conflict, like, you know, a mother-like figure or a father-like figure in the household, or someone who holds these attributes are not seeing eye to eye, you see a lot of conflicts, a lot of challenging, especially for some of you who might be trying to move out from a house and are trying to start your own journey. That's why we see the page and the page of Cups and Wands. It's like a new journey, a new momentum. You're trying to get free from, you know, living in the house, and maybe they're not happy with it, these parental type figures or legal guardians, but you're, you know, turning of age. You're just like, you know, I'm ready to start. I'm ready to either maybe to go off to college, you know, come like the fall or wherever it is in your season. You're ready to move, and maybe it's like, you know, sometimes it's just, it doesn't feel fair to you. It doesn't feel like it's fair. It feels harder than what it should be. And it's more about like, you know what, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do to change it. You can only control your actions. You've got to ask yourself what it is that you want, what you're willing to work for, what you're willing to drop in terms of your values. What are you willing to give up and to compromise in that way? Like you can't always be the peacemaker between a lot of different individuals as well. That would just drive you up the wall in that sense of like, you know, it would be too draining, it would be too stressful. And that's where you see like that emotional draining manipulation kind of going on behind the scenes. If someone's trying to guilt trip you and it doesn't seem fair, like, why are you doing this? And this is more of like, because maybe they're acting childish. And also with this nurturing card, with the Queen of Cups in particular, about that nurturing and stability and motherhood. This is, like I said, acting like your own mother, needing to mother yourself, be kind to yourself, feed yourself good food, cook for yourself, pour love into your food so that you're eating like love, you're eating happiness and joy. Indulge in those little things. Some of you might be really good at working with potions or creating potions. We have the Queen of Cups here. Like you might be feeling very like, you know, overwhelmed by creating maybe a very complex potion. Maybe start basic and like doing an elixir that maybe you want so that you can create some sort of spell if that's what you work with, and to place on your skin. Or this is more about like getting a good moisturizer and applying that to your body as well. You know, everyone make sure to remember to moisturize. Okay, definitely we're going to use the You Are Here Oracle deck. Spirit, what else does pile number 1 need to know and to understand about this growth and stability and accessing it? to accept it as well. Earth, the world keeps spinning. Completion, fulfillment, and success. We're kind of seeing this as time will go on. The conflicts that are now, kind of like people are going to get over it. It isn't that deep. It's just changing and people are uncomfortable with change. There can be success here. I see someone with like surrendering your ego and surrendering to what is. Like, you can't deal with stubborn people. You can't deal with them and expect them overnight to change. This is more about protecting your peace and protecting your boundaries. Another thing, because with justice, and especially next to a queen card, another card that is really connected with justice is the Queen of Swords. And although she is not present here, we are kind of also seeing between these two being here an implication of like, she is present and she is about boundaries. The Queen of Swords is about creating your boundaries. That you are open to receiving like comments and open to receiving like love and, you know, new ways of thought and thinking and messages. But it's creating boundaries. It's knowing when to say no. It's knowing when to be like, you know what? I am done with this conversation. It is getting us nowhere. Let us pack it up for the night and, you know, we can deal with it at another time. Let's pull at least one more. Grandmas, you don't have to face everything alone. Comfort, nurturing energy, and support. That's what we're seeing. We're basically seeing this card times 2. This also brings into mind that maybe we're looking for someone who is an elder in your family. Doesn't necessarily have to be grandmas. This is just a card implying a safe, secure spot. You need to feel safe. You need to feel secure. You need to be like, I'm free to be in this area, in this space that I dedicated to myself. That is a nurturing, comfortable space. Maybe for some of you with that Queen of Cups card and the King of Pentacles, you might seek sanctuary in areas that hold water or even in your own bathroom. Like, you know, if you take a shower in a bath, that is your moment of peace and sanctuary. The King of Pentacles might be like, you might feel more secure around nature, around going to a, what's it called? Conservatory is not the word. I don't think that, no. I don't know why I thought that. I was thinking like a place for the plants. I can't think of the word right now. Not just like a greenhouse. I can't think of the word, but I'm thinking of like a place with like flowers and greenery. Like it's made for gardens and everything. Going into a garden, even just that, like having a garden. Growing your own herbs and everything. Like a space dedicated to that. And then the card at the bottom of the deck is Peachy Paradise. Enjoy the view in front of you. Happiness, contentment, and gratitude. Enjoying the view in front of you. Enjoying like the peace that you have now. We also have 2 columns here, which is also like present here in the Justice card. Kind of like seeing the balance, like seeing where you're comfortable in, seeing where it is you want to go. What view kind of gives you this feeling? Where do you want to go into the world? All, you know, I'm seeing like throwing out a window. We're seeing throughout the world. For some of you, your next like home and stability may be like literally like it is like moving. And it could be like overseas. It could be taking a big leap here. And a leap that could be very scary. You know, it's just like keeping that in mind and looking into it. All right, let me think. What will be, this is, I always do this like during this reading. I never know which cards I want to use until I do the reading. Because it always depends on what the tarot and like what this card is. I'm thinking because we're seeing so much nurturing that self-care cards could go a long way here because there is some form of self-care that is required. And self-love and self-care could always be like self-love is like indulging. It's like having some chocolate or some sweets. Going to bed early. And self-care is more of tackling those hard the hard things that you don't want to deal with, like budgeting, investing, maybe learning more about where your money is going or where it's not going, dealing with bills. You know, like if you're planning on moving out and, you know, that's the way that this is looking, like you need to be on your own, you want to go and travel, you want to go and do these things, what it is, how much money that you need. Do you have any way of securing that? Like, these are the hard questions. But once you deal with it, it will have a lot of relief because you finally dealt with it. You no longer let it sit in the shadows and like hovering over you. Watch a movie. Some of you just need to watch a movie, get nice and cozy. And this is where we're kind of talking about like your space. You're having this time to unwind and dream, especially with that Page of Cups energy, allowing yourself to dream and fantasize. Hydrate. More cup. Actually, we see a cup here. We see that cup here. It's hydration. Some of you just need to have a nice drink of water. And then the last card we have is music, listening to music. Maybe there's a soundtrack from a movie you really enjoy. Maybe you should listen to that. That could be an inclination here, is like, you know, listen to music from a soundtrack from a movie you really adore, and it brings up these really good feelings. For some of you, if you're missing home, you are missing your family, you miss being around a lot of these people, maybe you've been feeling too alone. This could be like, you know, enjoy your space, bring it comfort. You can always call home, you know, and also you could be making a drink or listening to music that reminds you of your childhood and home, since we have these page cards that are present right here. Okay. All right, pile number one, thank you so much for being here. I hope this reading was useful. Please drop me a comment what you thought of this reading, what you thought of any of these cards here. Let me know how you're doing, how you feeling, okay? And remember to thumbs up the video, to like, subscribe to the channel if you like this reading, and if it resonated with you. Again, please let me know in the comments below. And anything else I'm missing, any of my other socials you'd like to reach out to me on, you know, or to interact with, a lot of other content is listed in the description box below the video. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and I truly do appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile number two, and welcome to your reading. All right, we're going to start with this oracle, then we'll bring in the tarot, and we will follow it up with some more oracle, okay? So what can you be expecting in growth? All right, we have the sun god. We have come all, come now, expand into the skies and into the shadows below. We're just talking about expanding and growth right on the card itself. And the sun god brings authority, brings structure and reason. I would say this is like the equivalent of potentially the emperor in a tarot deck, okay? But authority and power, for some of you this could be good employment. For some of you this is just gaining authority in your voice, being able to be a master of a subject. This is considered masculine energy or action energy. You can say energy that you put out into the universe as well, especially if you don't want to use feminine or masculine terms. This would be the equivalent of that. So taking action, taking charge of a situation, using reason and logic. For some of you, you might be gaining education, you might be gaining more knowledge, more reason, a new thought, a new philosophy. Excuse me. So that's where we're seeing this growth. This is definitely a lot of self-growth and dealing with, if you're employed or self-employed or working somewhere, it's like gaining authority on a subject matter. So when things feel like they're going wrong, or people can look to you for guidance, they can trust you, they know you're responsible, you're gaining responsibilities, but in a way that is progressive. It's more of like what you're looking for. All right, and I forgot to say this in the introduction, but I do want to say, especially if you are new here, if you hear me saying, well, for some of you this, for some of you that, that's because this is still a general reading. So many different people might be watching this video or watching this pile. So for some of you, it will be the messages for some of you. And if it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. That's absolutely fine. That can mean that the message is for somebody else. All right. So trust your intuition. If you're like, this doesn't make any sense to me, you know, then ignore it. That is just the catch with readings like this. But I tried to include a lot of different perspectives and the messages that I am receiving into these readings. All right. And we're going to use the tarot to kind of find out a little bit more, get a deeper dive into this authority, maybe maybe more details. Okay, here we go. The Hermit, doubling on that knowledge. This is some Virgo energy as well. So if you have high Virgo placements, this could be attuned more to you. But however, if you're not, that's okay. You know, if you're also interested about your chart, you should look more information about your chart than just your sun sign. So with the Hermit, this is that service to others energy. This is about being a guiding light. Literally. So we have the sun god. This could be an implication of the sun being a guiding force and light to others. So you might be leading people. You might be leading, like I said, getting a job and progressing through the job where you are holding a leadership, a management position to that job. But you are a guiding force in that. Ooh, we got 7 of Swords, so things are coming to light, truths are coming into light, and we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so a challenge might present to you is making sure that you don't go back to old habits, that you don't try to also let greed get in the way of yourself. We're seeing someone who's like, I'm looking back at these 2 swords, I would like more of them, I want all of them, and it's like those are old patterns and thoughts. We need to release them. We also are seeing truths come to light of maybe someone who was holding information away from you or holding back. It's like you're shining light into the situation. You're no longer also letting people sneak around you. If someone was lying to you, you're catching them in the lie. You're like, no more. Virgos are also particularly very good at that because they can see the details into the situation. They're really good at planning. This is also seeing yourself like going away from the collective. You're not letting others' voices like control you, or like we see with the Knight of Wands, you're moving away from the collective. You're no longer allowing truths of others. I mean, like other people's like opinions and thoughts, and like it's not that you're like turning them down or like not listening to them, but if they're trying to force it onto you and be like, you need to think this certain way, you need to learn the way that I do, you know, or they're trying to be greedy with your time, they're not doing any of the work, they're expecting you to do all of the work, and they're just reaping the benefits of that. You're like, no more, no, we're done. You can do your own information. You can do that. I'm doing myself. I'm going to do this for myself. You know, I'm no longer dealing with this situation. And the Knight of Wands is about maybe like a delayed message being sent your way. Like this message could be delayed, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. You can also be open your eyes to the truth. So do not, when the truth is presented to you, when you finally see these actions, you know, turn your eyes away from it. This is about opening up to that guiding light as well. Yep, waking up from a dream. We have the Chariot. The Chariot is related to the zodiac sign of Cancer. And we have the Ace of Wands. Yep, so we see someone, and we see this, and we have the Page of Wands too, okay. We're seeing this with like awakening, a deep awakening from a deep sleep. Like I said, remember, like you're not going to allow anyone now to lie to you. You're going to catch them in this lie. You're no longer going to allow them to lie to your face or deceive others, which makes you look like the bad person in all of this. You're no longer going to be that. You're going to become a hero in your own story. The Chariot is about getting back on the aligned path. It's about gaining victories. You might be feeling, for some of you, you might be feeling like your victories have been stolen. You know, like your victories have been stolen, and it kind of steals from your energy. When we see the Ace of Wands in reverse. And all we're seeing here is that that you might be feeling a delay, or a delay will be happening with this authority and power, because you're gaining more information, things are coming more into light, and you'll be right back onto your path, you know, of enlightenment. You're going to have to get control as well over your discipline and your willpower to get you back on track. That's why we see the Page of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. We're seeing a lot of your energy isn't in your own control. Some of you might have been feeling very tired lately and have been on hermit mode. This is about waking up and taking charge, no longer being passive, no longer allowing life to slip by you. This is more about taking that action control and finding this energy and starting step by step, taking things like we see the two dogs that are present here. It's taking things one step at a time. No longer letting childish thoughts and feelings like hold you back, like immaturity. Okay, we're going to be seeing some of you might be delayed in traveling as well. If you've been wanting to travel, maybe the energy or the finances aren't there just yet because you're gaining more information. And that's why you need a promotion at work in order to have the finances in order to do this. I see that as well. Let me see. Are we missing? Where's the pentacles? We're missing pentacles or we're missing cups. Okay. So when I'm looking at that, when I'm trying to see what are we missing here? We're missing pentacles and we're missing cups. Now we have a bit of that water energy being brought to us with the Chariot relating to that Cancer energy, which is found in the cups. So we see it kind of missing, and it's like, okay, well, your romance life is fine. Your romance, your self-love is absolutely fine. Although it could be argued that self-love comes in the force of putting up those barriers to others as well, and not allowing people to walk over you, to gaslight you. What we're seeing is pentacles is not here. So it's kind of like the heart, love, and money aren't the main priority right now. It is your voice. It is your energy. It is that voice or that authority of your voice as well that is a priority for you. That is where we're seeing the growth. Not in the finances, not in love. It's kind of like that's what it is right now. That is not a priority for this reading for you, pile number 2. This is about gaining knowledge. And where are you going to take that knowledge? And also, when we see like a 1, we have that ace there, and we see the knight in reverse. It's kind of like we need to think of also the bigger picture, the bigger journey here. For some of you, the Chariot can also be implied like, I was just thinking a car was stolen, because we have the Chariot where it can actually be like a car. Like this car was stolen and maybe giving back to you. Since we have the 7 of Swords being present there. I don't know. It just was a thought that I had. But for some of you, I'm trying to think with I'm not seeing a mechanic. I'm not seeing, because I know we have the Chariot being present here. I didn't really get like a big, besides that one thought through my mind of the car, because we have like a delayed message, a delay in being able to leave, because like if you don't have a car, you're trying to get a car, it's been a challenge, because maybe it's being able to get from one place to another is very challenging. So we're kind of seeing that as like, okay, that's the momentum. That's where we want the energy to be, because getting from one place to another. So this is about having a new idea, a new foundation, a new structure into getting from point A to point B to like get rid of this anxiety. You also might be seeing a new way of prosperity. That's why like money isn't there, because the creativity is there. It's just kind of getting things going and getting your will and determination set to go. Kind of like getting the discipline. That's what the Sun God also brings in, is like you need reason, you need structure, you need to like discard childish thoughts and behaviors and like this me concept, and being able to be like, okay, I need structure. And even though I don't want to do that, in order to reach these dreams, these goals, it's what I have to do. Even if it means working for somebody else or being of service to somebody else, you know, it's like you're taking action, you're taking charge, you're showing your energy in that way. Okay, so let us bring out what it is that you need to surrender. Pile number 2. What is it that you need to surrender? Okay. Surrender to rest and sleep. To prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. That's probably why we're seeing this lack of energy. Kind of like when you have a lack of energy, you have a lack of willpower and determination. Like you have good intent, but you don't follow through with it because you're lacking on rest and sleep. That is pretty self-explanatory for this reading. That's why we see a lot of these fire elements in reverse, and why we see the 9 of Swords like in reverse. Like maybe you feel like it's childish to take a nap, and it's like, take a nap. This is okay. Take a nap. Maybe some of you need to take, you know, a few minutes of rest, like feeling the sun on your skin. Like you need to be outside. Maybe go for a car ride. I was thinking the dogs. Take your dog on a car ride. Surrender comparison with other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strength, attractiveness, and power. And this holds true with this Chariot to this Seven of Swords card. Stop comparing yourself to others. You are on your own path to success. You have your own power, your own attractiveness, your own control that you need to focus in on. If you keep comparing yourself to these other people, you're never going to get anywhere. In the sense, like, you're always going to feel down about yourself because you feel like you didn't accomplish as much as the other person did. And that's where, like, I feel immature, I feel childish kind of comes into this. And it's like, you need to release that. You need to let that go. You're all on your own path and journey. And the card on the bottom, surrender to inner peace. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet, meditative moments, focus on stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. Surrender to inner peace, and this can help with like your willpower and determination, is having this moment of just complete silence in your mind and no longer seeing comparisons. This is just you, but also finding daily joy. What are some things that bring you bliss? You know, for some of you, to get this rest and sleep, maybe you need to read. You know, let your mind wander. Let yourself like fantasize and dream and be like, this is not childish. You know, this is where I can find my energy, the emotion, you know, my desires. That's what you can do for this, to give yourself some rest. So you can basically drift off into sleep better. All right, let's grab this one. You Are Here Oracle deck. Spirit, what else does pile number 2 need to know about their voice, their authority? Do they hold a place of power within these cards? Haunted staircase. Don't let what ifs haunt you. Regrets, unsaid words, and missed opportunities. It's about bringing in that inner peace. It is saying this again. Don't let what ifs haunt you, hold you back, and be like, well, I can no longer do this because, you know, of X, Y, Z. Like, it's just, no. We're letting that go. Rose Valley. Go forth with a soft and open heart, love, feminine energy, and vulnerability. This is talking about balance. So while you see this, also with this rest and sleep and kindness to yourself, where we're seeing like this action with the sun god, we're seeing with this oracle, like the Rose Valley, like go with vulnerability. Bring both aspects back into your life and bring you back into balance. So where you have action, you have non-action. Where you go forward, you also allow things to come back to you, you know, where you absorb some forms of energy. You absorb, you know, like you absorb the sunlight and you let it into your body, you know, and then you can put action back out. This is kind of like you're getting back into a cycle right now. And the card at the bottom of the deck, is it stuck? No, okay, so home, come back to home to yourself, belonging, celebration, and stability. Kind of speaks for yourself, but it also brings back to us this Chariot card. Some of you need to have peace of mind at home. You need to go to the place of rest and either redo the space, make it more peaceful, making sure you're not getting out of bed multiple times a night. Like make where you go to bed at night very peaceful and relaxing. Maybe put flowers around it. And we're seeing the cupcake. This is like having a nice dream at night as well with this home card. Celebrating your actions that you've taken thus far. Feeling belonging in your own home and having stability in your home. Making, like I said, stability, like having that kind of comes to mind is having a nighttime ritual before you go to bed at night. Which these cards right here, these self-care cards, can be very helpful for that. Let's see. Depending on what they are. Pile number 2. What is some self-care you can do? Well, if you didn't understand it the first time it came up, we have rest again. We have rest. So definitely getting some good rest in your home is key for you, pile number 2. Connect with the earth. Some of you, maybe before, you have to go to bed, if you can, maybe go and spend some time with earth or ground. This is more about grounding energy, I would say. It's more about grounding energy. When you're doing like meditation, grounding with the earth. And for some of you, you can maybe want to put crystals around your bed, maybe crystals that help drive away nightmares, bring in peaceful sleep and rest. And then the card at the bottom is connect with your womb. And for those who don't have a womb or don't feel connected to your womb, that's okay. This card can also, and also you don't have to do all 3 of these. You can just do one, or you can ignore this card if you choose to. That's absolutely fine. But with the womb card, it's about, again, connecting. I say again because I've said this before when I've been live on stream. Connecting with your mother's womb, the mother side of the family, the nurturing side, the birth of creativity, birth of power. This is more about that. It doesn't actually mean a physical womb or your womb, especially if you do not have a womb. That doesn't mean anything about that. It's about just creativity and power and connecting with a feminine, or if you, like I said, you don't like to use feminine terms, connecting with receiving energy. Being open to receiving abundance, receiving authority, and not feeling like you don't belong or that you don't deserve this authority. Feeling like it was stolen from you and like, it's okay. You're like, oh, it's fine. It just wasn't meant for me. It's like, no, this is you taking control and taking charge of it. For some of you, there could be strong women in your family, or those that just hold strong feminine powers, like with them, that or presenting feminine, that hold this strength that you are like, you admire, and you are like, okay, I want to be just like them in the future, or I gain strength from them. And like as they see home, you see Rose Valley, we're seeing a lot to the sun god is shining this light over all of this authority, this reason, this logic, but intuition and nurturing energy is present here. This is a full balance for you, pile number 2. So what type of growth is in your life? It is balance coming to you. It's just coming from different angles of like taking care of your home and nurturing, just like the Cancer and the crab would be for this card, because usually when we see the crab, it's like the shell is their home. They take their home wherever they go. They take their home wherever they go. They make it nurturing and creative, okay? So that was your reading for you, pile number 2. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below. I love to read your comments. Subscribe to the channel if you like this reading. Share it with a friend that you think may enjoy it. And don't forget to like the video if you truly did like it, of course. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. All my other socials, if you want to like hang out in the Discord with us, or if you want to like chill on my other socials and all that fun stuff, are all linked in the description below. I'm sure you can find it everywhere. And thank you again for being here, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. All right, before I get started here, I forgot to mention one thing in the introduction, and that is when I use terminology of, for some of you this, for some of you that. I tend to try to keep that in the intro. I just forgot about it this time, so I've been doing it in the beginning of the piles of each of the readings here. When I say that, it's because this is a general reading. So especially saying this for someone who's new, this is maybe your first time watching one of my videos. So this could be implied that like, other people are watching the same video as you. So some things will resonate for some and some will not. If it doesn't resonate for you, or if you have no idea, it doesn't make any sense, okay, that's fine. Ignore it. That meant that it's a message for somebody else who happens to be watching the same video, the same pile that you are. Okay, I just wanted to put that out there before we get started. We're starting with the Oracle, bringing in that Tarot, and then more Oracle after that. All right, the growth that we see for pile number 3, what is growing in your life, is self-worship. We have, okay, is the camera gonna focus? Probably not, because it doesn't like to focus for me. It's an ongoing joke on my channel and on my Twitch. My hands fold as I speak to the stars, watching as the sky holds its breath. In its stillness that I find all that I am and of all divinity within me. This is a beautiful card to have. And yes, you can just say this, so it's your attempts at self-care have been worth it. They've been working. This is something that will be growing as you keep doing these rituals, doing these habits of self-worship. When we see self-worship come into this, it's because you are going to prioritize yourself first. You are going to put your needs, your wants, your desires first. You're no longer going to allow other people to take your time, your energy, your money, your like they're no longer going to like distract you from you reaching your goals. That is first and foremost when it comes to this card. Another one is when you look in the mirror, you don't say like degrading things about yourself. You discard negative thoughts you have about yourself. And this isn't to say like, oh, negative qualities, like, oh, you're too prideful, you're too greedy, like I'm just gonna ignore that, I'm gonna continue being greedy and prideful. Like, no, that's not what we're talking about. Those type of qualities are what we consider like shadows, your shadow self qualities. That is self-worship and self-love and self-care, is dealing with those negative traits you know, becoming more aware of that. That is a form of self-worship because you're aware of it. What it is about this card is more about, if you make a mistake, you will not basically like say it's the end of the world for yourself. You're going to acknowledge the mistake. You're going to know what you can do better, how you can fix the said mistake, if you can fix it, if you need to apologize for the mistake, and how you can move forward without trying to repeat that mistake again. Okay? Having that plan in motion. You're not going to call yourself terrible, horrible things because you made a mistake, okay? That's what the self-worship card is about, is casting aside that form of negativity, is being aware of that negativity and how you will replace it with something more positive. And again, self-worship, it's like self-worshiping your body, loving yourself, loving the way you speak, the way you think of things, the way you perceive things, you know, taking that into consideration, dressing up nicely, getting comfortable, surrounding your place as a temple of worship as well, a worship to your mind, body, and soul when we see this self-worship card come into here. All right, let us grab this tarot. And let us see what else Spirit and the Divine, what other details maybe they would like to give about this self-worship, like how to better accept it, or, you know, what are some challenges along the way of this growth. A lot of times change is scary and you don't want to change. It's just bad habits. You know, at this point, it's just bad habits that you have to unlearn, but you have to become aware of these bad habits. Okay, we have a Seven of Swords. No longer wanting to pick up those negative thoughts. Leaving them behind. Do not look back. Like I said, this is also about habits. Someone stealing your time, stealing your thoughts, your ideas. It's like leaving that all behind and moving on to the future. No longer looking towards the past. Defenses are up. So some of you might be very guarded at this time. And we have the Five of Swords. Okay, so we're seeing some challenge, but I'm also seeing with this self-worship, yeah, no longer looking back, but some of you, your defensive might be really, really up. Some of you might have been scarred in the past. Someone might have stolen your time, your energy, your thoughts, might have stolen that in the past, and it's really hard to look beyond that. But you're getting so close to it, like you're close to the ending of a cycle of this journey, to seeing this growth come to you. We have more cards to pull, don't worry. But with this Five of Swords energy, it's kind of like, where do you see yourself in this card? Are you the one that's trying to collect all of these swords, or are you walking away from a situation that is no longer a part of your control? You've said what you said. You've done what you've done. You need to now prioritize yourself. This person here is no longer your concern. They are too stubborn. They are too fixed in their ways. It is no longer your concern. You're going to do your own thing. You're going to build your own fortress. You're going to build your own temple, your own area of peace, you know, where you're going to work on you, where you're going to gain your strength. And we see the Five of Cups. Seeing new opportunities, but feeling into your feelings. I'm seeing some of you this form of self-love, especially with that Moon card. And we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, Sagittarius energy. Card almost fell. The Moon card connected to Pisces energy. What's the card at the bottom? We have another 5. Okay. So there has been, in what we can see this, between the shadow card here that's kind of pushing beyond all of this, Five of Swords, I'm holding the Five of Wands card. When we're seeing this Five of Wands, and especially in reverse, it's like people weren't playing by the rules. And this could even be the thoughts, like if you treat every person in here as a thought you've had, a negative thought, it's kind of beating yourself up. You've been beating yourself up. You've been feeling guilt or regret towards a situation lately. And even maybe regret towards how you've treated yourself. You've been harsh to yourself. This is about becoming more aware of what you're doing, coming out of the confusion and seeing this wild unknown thing about yourself with this moon card, coming awake from dreams that you've had, awake and being more conscious of the thoughts that you've been making about yourself. With these conflicting cards, also what's being present here, what it is not also like present, is the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. Needing to treat yourself right, surround yourself with luxury, you know, traditional means. Like if there was a way of comfort that you've done before, it's about bringing that comfort back, even if it's just temporary, to kind of ease your mind. This could also be seeking guidance from a mentor, someone professionally who can help ease these burdens or help deal with your thoughts of self-doubt, or, you know, and to bring up the self-worship that is being set upon your path. A message might be being delayed to you, or this fire energy might be giving you that burnt out energy. We also see like the Knight of Wands trying to get away from the situation, trying to unfold from this, waking up like from a bad dream. Kind of like you're getting so close as well to this phase of completion, with that 9 being present here. The 9 is like, okay, you're gathering your energy and you're going to be moving on from this phase. Interesting as well, we see these opposing, like how they're like mirrored to each other when we see this. The sun and moon, and like the moon, which actually, you know, it'd be like the moon here and the moon back there. So we see this type of energy. Also, it's like feeling your feelings. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to like look back on a situation and have sad memories about it. You're becoming more aware of this, and you're going to see the new opportunities. You got to allow yourself to cry. You got to allow yourself to like say these nice words. And I get some of your feelings. If you're just trying to tell yourself nice words, you may feel like tears are about to come down. You may be stirring because like no one speaks to you that way. With these court cards, there might have been someone that is present that was harsh to you, was mean to you, was out to hurt you. They were trying to say these words in order to hurt you, which may have cut down your self-worth. You know, you don't see the point of self-worship. You don't see how a beautiful of a person you are, the energy you bring to the table. This is the challenging side, is being able to see this, because you don't, and it's like trusting your intuition, trusting your gut feelings, being alone in the darkness. That's why you're like, I don't know what to do in this situation. It's kind of like what we're seeing here for you, pile number 3. And it's trusting in that force, that you are not alone, that you are guided. With the moon card being present here, we see figures in here that are guiding, you know, whoever's walking into the darkness. You have strong, and we have this strength right here as well, a deep fire of burning within this darkness. That is you being a guiding light to yourself, no longer letting others push you around and make you feel bad about yourself. And also, I'm getting a sense that some of you might be feeling like it's selfish to do this, to self-worship. It is selfish for you to do that, and that is not the case here. I'm sorry, pushing everyone away because I am pulling some oracle cards out in just a moment here. Yeah, definitely what I was seeing here is like someone here, and this could be someone with high Sagittarius energy, also a Leo or Aries technically, but I always attribute the Knight of Wands with Sagittarius energy in particular. Or it could be someone with Pisces energy, someone who was like working, I was like thinking like working in the shadows, like working behind the scenes, maybe talking about you behind your back. Might be seeing that as well. And that's why it's you getting away from a situation to bring yourself back to a place of self-worship. And that's why we see this beauty, like that Taurus energy coming from the Hierophant. You know, traditional means making you happy and giving you satisfaction with that energy as well. Like when I mean traditional, like if you had to go shopping in order to feel better, you know, get some bath bombs, get some makeup, some skincare products, you know, go get your hair done, get your nails done, you know, or like get a good book, go to the movies, or get a movie so you can like have this time at home and like, I'm just going to lay about today and read and watch movies and eat good food. Like that's how I'm going to worship myself today, because I need to get away, I need to recharge. That could be what this is about as well. And no like stressing about your own thoughts at that point, like releasing, like, okay, I'm aware of these thoughts, I'm gonna let it go. Let us find out what else you have to let go. Let's see what else you need to surrender for this growth to really take hold. Pile number 3. What must you surrender? What else does Spirit want you to know to surrender to? Surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. And this is talking about if someone is causing drama. Like I said, if you have the feeling with you, pile number 3, someone is really there. It feels like they're out to get you. They're out to make you feel stupid about yourself, make you feel selfish, talking down to you. And this is you getting away from that situation. You're like, I'm not going to be a part of this drama. I'm not going to be a part of this conversation. I am not dealing with this person anymore. I am blocking them. For some of you, it is like self-care, self-worship is blocking a person, muting them, unfollow, unsub, all that sort of stuff. Surrender your ego, cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. And this is about like surrendering that pride of trying to get the situation to work. Also, for some of you, surrendering your ego if you feel like you can deal with this problem on your own, but maybe you can't. And that's why we're seeing like the mentor, the hierophant, the keeper of knowledge, hiding behind the background, because this knowledge isn't intuitive. This is knowledge that is passed down. It is knowledge from books. It is knowledge from a person. It is knowledge that has to be given to you, and you have to be ready to receive it as well. So for some of you, you need to surrender the ego. You need to surrender that pride you have that you're like, I can do it myself. I don't need help. And maybe there's people, even on the opposing side of all this, for some of you, there's people out there who've been trying to help you, been like, you're going to do this, but your defenses have been up. You don't want criticism. And it's okay to not want criticism when it's like you're not ready to receive it yet. But it's different when it's for your own benefit. And like, they're genuinely not trying to hurt you. They're coming from a sincere place, but maybe the wording is off. So really take back and look back at that conversation, replay it in your mind at least once or twice to really give it and let it sink in. And you can decide then if it was actually coming from a place of hurt, where can you get advice from? Maybe that will make you also feel better and being able to ease your guilt if you feel like maybe you were too harsh on a person who was coming from a guilt and you feel like maybe you've pushed them away at that point. And this card always makes me giggle, and I will tell afterwards, after I read it. So surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale. The tension you've built up in your body, let the stress go as you come back to your center. It is so easy, especially for like a card, to be like, surrender your stress. You know what? You're no longer stressed right now, right? Because you just surrendered it, right? And it's always so funny to me when it's like this card comes up. So I always interpret it more of like, surrender the stress in this moment. And this could be a moment of meditation. This could be a moment of like, you're going to put your problems to the side right now and ignore them just for like 5 minutes. Do something for yourself in those 5 minutes. Or you know what? I'm going to have a meal. There's nothing I can do about this situation right now. I am going to have a really good meal. Even if I have to order it, pick it up, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to savor this meal. And the same could be for a bath or whatever. Or if all this like drama, all of this grief and everything, it's been a really tough week for you. Like people have been feel like they're not playing by the rules anymore. And you're like, this is stressing me out. What can I do to fix it? And the answer isn't coming to you. It's because you're trying to force it. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to take the night. I'm going to take that night and I'm going to like relax. There is nothing I can do about it for myself right now. I need some moment of self-worship. I need some self-care. I need, some self-love for the night. And then I will deal with this problem in the morning. That could be that's more of how I interpret the surrender stress card. Because it's always so easy to say, well, you know what, just surrender your stress. Boom, see, you're no longer stress-free. Or you're no longer stressful, right? It's like it doesn't work that way. But what it can work is like taking that moment. And for some of you, it is for when we see this card here, especially paired with surrender stress. If you can't deal with your own problem, but maybe you can help another, and that will help, help deal with it because it takes your mind away from your stressful situation, that could also be it as well. And you're doing it because you want to, you care about that. No one's forcing you to help them. This is of your own accord. What else does Spirit want you to know right now? Pile number 3. Grandmas, you don't have to face everything alone. comfort, nurturing energy, and support. Having that, like, surrendering that stress is maybe doing things that you would do with your grandmother or your grandparents or an elder. It's having also that home as peace and quiet and relaxing. Comfort food as well, as I was just talking about, like, surrender your stress. Maybe you need to have that moment of comfort food. Something your grandmother or like a elderly figure would make for you, or a restaurant that you two used to frequent, or like you and your family used to frequent. So if you don't, like, didn't have a relationship with your grandma, it would just be like a figure that, I mean, what would you think brings that moment of comfort? Even think back to your childhood, if you need to go far back and be like, it didn't have to be your grandma's, but it's like, also, this is also a sign of like the divine and your ancestors. Even if you don't know your ancestors, they know you, that they're watching over you and they're protecting you from above, you know, or all around you. We have moonlit, we have the moon, we have the moon. The moon is very strong in this reading as well. Take it easy, relaxation, rest, and pause. If it wasn't clear to you about this self-worship before, the growth and acceptance, it's like, take it easy. Have this moment for yourself, this moment of peace and comfort, as we're seeing present here. Surrendering your stress, surrendering, like, this will be heading towards you. Even if you feel like your defenses have been up, you've been part of drama, it's like you're surrendering it, you're letting go. This is where we're seeing that growth come from. And the card at the bottom is breathing forest. Feel the earth below your feet, nature, grounding energy, and balance. Which, interesting enough, again, yeah, because we don't have pentacles and cups. A little bit of water energy with the moon card being connected to Pisces. Oh no, we have cups right there. Sorry, cups right there. But no pentacles energy. And we kind of see the pentacles energy being part here. So grounding. So it's not about money. It's not like, we're not seeing an issue with money, or it's not a priority right now. It's kind of in the back burner right now. This is more about that grounding energy and having this physical need in the material world to like have a moment to meditate, to ground your energy, your power, and bring it back into center, bring it back to you. Okay, so definitely with the self-worship card, we need some self-care cards. Yeah, we have swords, wands, and cups. A little more wands than swords. Okay, air and fire. It's about kind of like trying to take things easy. Oh, just thought about that. My stomach candle just blew out. That's alright. This is towards the end. We don't want burnout. That's why we see the moon as well, as like getting that rest, and that way we see the moonlit baths. For some of you who maybe practice magic, if there has been a moon, like a full moon, maybe you want to collect moon water. Oh, we've got two cards here. We've got deep breath, or deep breathing, and looking to the stars. Like I was just talking about that. So breathing forest, again, to deep breathing, taking a few deep breaths. Like I said about that surrender stress card, this could be just surrendering the stress in that moment. I'm going to put this in the bottom of the deck. This was the card at the bottom. I'll put that right there. Again, you can choose to do some of these. You can choose to do none of these, like self-care cards. But, you know, taking these deep breaths, maybe you need to go into the forest. Maybe you need to go into nature and take a few deep breaths. And I was saying this, we wanted to collect some moon water and then add it to your bath. You know, that could be something you do, especially if you're looking to the stars. You're working with the moon phases. You're working with the signs. Depending whenever you see this video, you can look to what the moon phases are now. Maybe there's a Pisces moon that you can work with when you see this. Moon in Sagittarius or something. You know, or Taurus energy, with all those fives being present, that Hierophant connecting to Taurus. I mean, you might be seeing this video because I'm posting this in Taurus season. We just had a Taurus new moon. And so, and the moon will reach back into all these phases. Once again, it goes into cycles. So it just may not be like a full or a new moon. But you need to look to the stars. Maybe some of you want to start in astrology. Maybe you wanted to learn astrology, but maybe you hadn't had the time. This is about you finding the time to learn about astrology. We also have learning maybe about your dreams, the dream journal. You know, it says right there, are you sleeping? Are you getting your rest? How can you record your dreams if you're not getting any rest? You know, burning out because you're just like going and knocking yourself out in that way. Like, you know, you're going to want to keep a dream journal next to your bed in order to record these dreams and to interpret them the next morning. Yeah, so that is what I'm seeing here. a lot of moon energy, a lot of absorbing energy. Maybe some of you work with goddesses of the night, and maybe you want to attune with that energy as well and call upon deities or do any sort of ritual, like a self-worshiping ritual in under the night sky, or just at, you know, at night when you're about to wind down and go to bed. Okay? All right, pile number 3, and thank you again for being here. I truly do appreciate it. Please drop me a comment what you thought of this reading, if it resonated with you, if it didn't resonate with you. I love to read your comments either way. Any questions, comments, concerns, please make sure to thumbs up the video if you really liked it. It does help me. Subscribe to the channel or share the video with a friend, all that good stuff, all that good stuff you do here on YouTube to help out channels. I really do appreciate it. If you want to hang out in the Discord, if you want to find me on my other socials, interact with me there, I'd love to have you. All those will be linked in the description box below. All right, that's about it. And yeah, thank you for being here again. I truly do appreciate it. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.